I have returned with another chapter of this book. I took a little bit of some time off. I was getting some stuff ready. I was in the middle of packing, trying to move, trying to get out of here. But in the process, I realized that I need a little bit more time. So we're going to go back to reading. And we're going to try and not leave it for so long this time. So I'm going to get 2 chapters read tonight. That way I can get ahead of this book and not fucking feel like it's taking forever. It's like 20 chapters. I can get this shit done faster. Okay? So today is chapter 3. And what does chapter 3 read? Never enough. When rich people do crazy things. So when rich people do crazy things. Okay, so apparently people don't do crazy things, but rich people do crazy things. I've seen some poor people do some crazy ass shit too. I'm not gonna lie. Just the other day, homeless man asking for dollars and shit. But anyways, chapter 3. John Bogle, the Vanguard founder who passed away in 2019, once told a story about a money that highlights something we don't think about enough. At a party given by a billionaire on Shelter Island, Kurt Vonnegut informs that his pal Joseph Heller, that their host, a hedge fund manager, had made more money in a single day than Heller had earned from his wildly popular novel Catch-22. Catch-22. That sounds familiar. I've never read it, but it sounds very Catch-22. Sounds very familiar. Over its whole history, Heller responds, "Yes, but I have something else he will never have. Enough." Enough. I was stunned by the simple eloquence of that word. Stunned for 2 reasons. First, because I have been given so much in my own life. And second, because Joseph Heller couldn't have been more accurate. For a critical element of our society, including many of the wealthiest and most powerful among us, there seems to be no limit today on what enough entails. It's so smart and so powerful. Let me offer 2 examples of the dangers of not having enough and what they can teach us. Rajat Gupta was born in Calcutta and orphaned as a teenager. People talk about the privileged few who begin life on third base. Gupta couldn't even see the baseball stadium. That's a different kind of poor. Woo! What he went to achieve from those beginnings was simply phenomenal. By his mid-40s, Gupta was the CEO of McKinsey, the world's most prestigious consulting firm. He retired in 2007 to take on the roles with the United Nations and World Economic Forum. He partnered with a philanthropic work with Bill Gates. He sat on the board of directors of 5 public companies. Damn. From the slums of Calcutta, Gupta had quite literally become one of the most successful businessmen alive. With his success came enormous wealth. As by 2008, Gupta was reportedly worth $100 million. It's an unfathomable sum of money to most. A 5% annual return on that much money generates almost $600 an hour, 24 hours a day. Yeah, damn. Woo, that's nice. Okay. He could have done anything he wanted in life. And what he wanted, by all accounts, wasn't to be a mere central millionaire. Rajat Gupta sat on the board of directors at the Goldman Sachs, which surrounded him with some of the wealthiest investors in the world. One investor, citing the paydays of private equity tycoons, described Gupta like this: "I think he wants to be in that circle. That's a billionaire circle, right? Goldman is like the hundreds of millions circle, right? Right. So Gupta found a lucrative side hustle. In 2008, as Goldman Sachs stared. Reading today is apparently a challenge. Stared Where is it? I lost my place. Stared at the wrath of the financial crisis. Warren Buffett planned to invest $5 billion into the bank to help it survive. As a Goodman board member, Gupta learned of this transaction before the public. It was valuable information, of course. Goldman's survival was in doubt, and Buffett backing would surely send its stock soaring. 16 seconds after learning, God damn, motherfucker, couldn't wait longer. After learning of the pending deal, Gupta, who was dialed into the Goldman's board meeting, hung up the phone and called a hedge fund manager named Raj Tarnam. The call wasn't recorded, but Raj Tarnam immediately bought 175,000 shares of Goldman Sachs. Conveniently enough. So you can guess what was discussed. The Buffett-Goldman deal was announced to the public hours later. Goldman stock surged. Raj Tarnam made a quick $1 million back in 2008. Very, very nice, quick meal. That was just one example of an alleged trend. The SEC claims Gupta's insider tips led to $17 million in profits. Holy fuck! How much are they making now? $17 million sounds like nothing compared to what I'm assuming is hundreds of millions of dollars, or billions even. It was easy money, and for prosecutors, it was an ever easier case. Gupta and Raj Tarnam both went to prison for insider trading. Their careers and reputations irrevocably ruined. Irrevocably? Yeah, it's gotta be. Now consider Bernie Madoff. His crime is well known. Madoff is one of the most notorious Ponzi schemer since Charles Ponzi himself. Madoff swindled investors for 2 decades before his crime was revealed. Ironically, just after Gupta's endeavor. What's overlooked is that Madoff, like Gupta, was more than a fraudster. Before the Ponzi scheme that made Madoff famous, he was widely successful and legitimate businessman. Madoff was a market maker, a job that matches buyers and sellers of stocks. He was very good at it. Here's how the Wall Street Journal described Madoff's market-making firm in 1992. He was built a highly profitable securities firm, Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities, which siphons a huge volume of stock trades away from the big board. The 740 million average daily volume of trades executed electronically by the Madoff firm off the exchange equals 9% of the New York exchange of the New York exchanges. 9%. One guy. Mr. Madoff's firm can execute trades so quickly and cheaply that it actually pays other brokerage firms a share to execute their customers' orders, profiting from the spread between bid and ask prices that most stocks trade for. This is not a journalist inaccurately describing fraud yet to be uncovered. Madoff's market-making business was legitimate. A former staffer said that the market-making arm to Madoff's business made between 25 and 50 million per year. Man, motherfucker was living life. Bernie Madoff's legitimate, non-fraudulent business was by any measure a huge success. It made him hugely and legitimately wealthy. And yet, the fraud. The question we should ask of both Gupta and Madoff is why someone worth hundreds of millions of dollars would be so desperate for money that they risk everything in pursuit of even more. Crime committed by those living on the hedge of survival is one thing. A Nigerian scam artist once told the New York Times that he felt guilty for hurting others, but poverty will make you feel the pain. Poverty will not make you feel the pain. Okay, so that's yes. If you need the money, you're going to do whatever it takes. Okay? It'll make you do that. What Gupta and Madoff did is something different. They already had everything. Unimaginable wealth, prestige, power, freedom, and they threw it all away because they wanted more. They had no sense of enough. They are extreme examples, but there are non-criminal versions of this behavior. The hedge fund long-term capital management was staffed with traders personally worth tens and hundreds of millions of dollars each, with most of their wealth invested in their own funds. Then They took so much risk in the quest for more that they managed to lose everything in 1998. In the middle of the greatest bull market and strongest economy in history. Warren Buffett later puts it. Later put it. To make money they didn't have any and didn't need. They risked what they have and did need. And that's foolish. It is just plain foolish. If you risk something that is important to you for something that is unimportant to you, it just not make any sense. There is no reason to risk what you have and need for what you don't have and don't need. Wow. That is crazy talk. That's great, yeah. No, that is exactly the reason why we're all screwed. We just don't know how to say no. We just want more. It's one of those things that's an obvious as it is overlooked. Few of us will ever have $100 million as Gupta or Madoff did. But a measurable percentage of those reading this book will. Hopefully, motherfucker, shit. I don't want $100 million. I don't want $100 million. Just give me $1 million. Give me $1,000. If I give you $1, man, I'll be happy. Okay, where did I put my things? I lost my. Percentage of the reading of the book will, at some point in their life, earn a salary or have a sum of money sufficient to cover every reasonable thing they need and need a lot of what they want. If you're one of them, remember a few things. So here's a few lessons. Number one, they want us to know. Number one, this man wants us. The hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving. So what does that mean? Okay, what does that mean? Let's see what that means. But it's one of the most important. If expectations rise with results, there is no logic in striving for more because you'll feel the same after putting in extra effort. It gets dangerous when the taste of having more money, more power, more prestige increases ambition faster than satisfaction. In that case, one step forward pushes the goalpost 2 steps ahead. So you start feeling yourself. That's what they're saying. Once you start feeling yourself, you need to hold the limit down. Because then you're getting too excited, too ahead of yourself. You need to breathe and stay in the moment. Live now, okay? But where is it? Where is dangerous when there's satisfaction? In that case, 1 step forward pushes the goalpost 2 steps back. You feel as if you're falling behind, and the only way to catch up is to take greater and greater amounts of risk. Modern capitalism is pro to 2 things: generating wealth and generating envy. Yeah, that just goes back to human behavior. Everybody gets jealous of everybody else. Be happy for the other people, man. That way people can be happy for you. Don't you want people to be happy for you? Be happy for other people. Okay? Greater risk and greater modern capitalism is pro to 2 things. Okay, envy, perhaps they go hand in hand. Wanting to surpass your peers can be a fuel of hard work. Yeah, let that be between you and yourself. You don't have to say like, fuck you, I'm going to be better than you. Just keep it between you and yourself. That's what Michael Jordan was good at. Sometimes he'll make up shit in his mind so he can motivate himself. He was a dick, though. He would go out and tell other people, but still. Perhaps they go hand in hand, okay? But life isn't as fun without any sense of enough. Happiness, as it's said, is just results minus expectations. Number 2, social comparison is the problem here. Yes, we always compare ourselves to other people and consider a rookie baseball player who earns $500,000 a year. He is by any definition rich. But say he plays the same team as Mike Trout, who earns a 12-year, $430 million contract. Woo! That's nice. By comparison, the rookie is broke. Yeah, motherfucker, he broke. But I would kill for a $500. I wouldn't mind $500,000. I'll take $5 for that $500,000. I don't care. But then think about Mike Trout. $36 million per year is an insane amount of money. But To make it on the list of the top 10 highest paid hedge fund managers in 2018, you need to earn at least $340 million in 1 year. Yeah, that's a lot more millions. That's 10 times more than what he makes. Jesus. Okay, that's who people like Mike Trout might compare their incomes to. He ain't comparing his income to that. He doesn't make that. He doesn't make close to that. And the hedge fund managers who makes $340 million per compares himself to the top 5 hedge fund managers who earns at least $770 million in 2018. Holy shit. Those top managers can look ahead to people like Warren Buffett, whose personal fortune increased by $3.5 billion in 2018. Yeah, bah, bah, bah. Whew. What do you do with that? How do you spend all that? I mean, easily, but like... Okay, and someone like Buffett can look ahead to Jeff Bezos, whose net worth is increased by $24 billion. Just 24. Nothing major. $24 billion. 2018, a sum that equates to more per hour than the rich baseball players made in a full year. So this guy, what's his face, Mr. Bezos, makes what are we talking about? Mike Trout? Mike Trout makes $34 million a year. This guy makes $34 million in an hour. Holy shit. Holy shit. Like, imagine sitting there, bing, $34 million deposit. One every hour. $34 million deposit. Bang. It's endless. What could you buy? What do you have the time to buy and then use it? Kidding me? Okay. Jesus. The point is that the ceiling of social comparison is so high that virtually no one will ever hit it. Which means it's a battle that can never be won, or the only way to win it is to not fight to begin with. To accept that you might have enough, even if it's less than those around you. There you go, that's how you win. Stop fucking competing with everybody else. A friend of mine makes an annual pilgrimage to Las Vegas. Vegas, baby! One year he asked the dealer, "What games do you play and what casinos do you play in?" The dealer, stone cold serious, replied, "The only way to win in Vegas casino is to exit as soon as you enter." Absolutely. That's exactly how the game is trying to keep up with other people's wealth works too. Yeah, good luck. If you're going in Vegas trying to win, you're not going to win. You're just going to be disappointed. I just go... That's what I tried the first time. I was like, I'm going to win my money back. Nope. Second time, I just went in for fun. Played, lost, and I was happy with it. That's because it was only like $150, okay? Like, I was not too worried about that. Enough, number 3, is too little. The idea of having enough might look like conservatism. Fuck yeah. Leaving opportunity and potential on the table. I don't think that's it. Enough is realizing the opposite. An insatiable appetite for more will push you to the point of regret. You gotta know when to say no. The only way to know how much food you can eat is to eat unlike you're sick. Until you're sick. Okay, let's repeat that. The only way to know how much food you can eat is to eat until you're sick. Sure. Few try this because vomiting hurts more than any meal is good. For some reason, the same logic doesn't translate to business or investing. And many will only stop reaching for more when they break and are forced to. This can be an innocent as burning out at work or a risky investment allocations you can't maintain. Wow. On the other end, there's Rajat Guptas and Bernie Madoffs in the world who resort to stealing because every dollar is worth reaching for regardless of consequences. Whatever it is, the inability to deny a potential dollar will eventually catch up to you. Number 4, there are many things worth risking no matter the potential gain. Okay. After he was released from prison, Rajat Gupta told the New York Times that he had learned a lesson. Don't get too attached to anything. Your reputation, your accomplishments, or any of it. I think about it now. What does it matter? Okay, this thing unjustly destroyed my reputation. That's only troubling if I am too attached to my reputation. Now, this seems like the worst possible takeaway from his experience, and what I imagine this is confronting self justifications of a man who desperately wants his reputation back, but knows it's gone. Reputation is invaluable, freedom and independence are invaluable, family and friends are invaluable, being loved by those who you want to love you is invaluable, happiness is invaluable. And your best shot at keeping these things is knowing when it's time to stop taking risks that might harm them. Knowing when you have enough. The good news is that the most powerful tool for building enough is remarkably simple. And doesn't require taking risks that could damage any of these things. That's the next chapter. And that is the next chapter. That was chapter 3. That was it. Now, chapter 4 is called Confounding and Compounding. 81.5 million of Warren Buffett's 845 billion net worth came after his 65th birthday. Our minds are not built to handle such absurdities. My mind isn't. This motherfucker made over $80 billion after 65. Player. Pimp. Pimp. Definition of a pimp. Right there. All right. Next chapter coming.